In this episode of the Ktdata Anime Podcast, the dense gets denser.
Plush bombs.
And all you can eat cake. All that more coming up. All right. The show begins in 3, 2, 1. It's time for the Ktdata Anime Podcast with Dito and Ktdata. The Ktdata Anime Podcast is brought to you by Windows XP. As you ride off into the sunset today, we won't forget your rolling green hills, the search dog that never found anything, and that funky start menu we all grew to love. Thanks for 12 great years, Windows XP. Hey everybody, welcome to the Ktdata Anime Podcast. I am Ktdata.
And I'm Dito.
And this is the podcast where we sit around and talk about anime with no pants on, but you would never be able to tell if I didn't just say that. How are you doing today, Tito?
I didn't want to give my secret away.
It's not a secret. People should just, in general, know that if you're watching something and you can't see people from the waist down, they're probably not wearing any pants. Just get used to it. That's just how it rolls on the internet. So yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to keep the illusion to people, though, thinking I had nice pants on.
Nah.
That's what distinguishes me from the rebels.
That's you don't have any pants on because you want to keep them nice. They're all hung up in your closet, you know, like so that way when you go out, it can be like those Docker commercials where like nice pants. I'm like, that's right, because I didn't wear them all day.
No,
that's why people get desk jobs, dude. I'm just saying.
I know. That's why I'm getting a desk job. That's why I have a desk job, I should say.
So if you guys have never seen the Ktdata Anime Podcast before, first of all, welcome to our humble little show on the internet. And like I said at the top of the show, what we do is just we pick 2 episodes of an anime from 3 different animes, come back and talk to them. So you're probably going, wait a minute. Where do I go watch all these animes and shenanigans and not? If you're not watching live, just go on to ktdata.net. Search for episode 5 of the winter season. Look in the show notes. Voila. You just click. It comes up and you're like, whoa! Instant anime streamed right to your eyes. Well, not into your eyes yet, but we're working on it.
Well, given the new Sony headgear and the Oculus and everything stuff, you could probably get to do that.
No, I'm taking it one more level up, Dito. You're not going to need a headgear or anything. It's just going to go straight into your brain, so it just looks like you're brain dead. But really, you're watching anime.
So we're doing sort of online for anime.
No, you're not going to be immersed in it. You're just going to be, you know.
Well, if it's going into your brain, it'd be a limp stump of nothingness. You might as well just be sort of online, but with
we're
anime.
Not there. It's the equivalent of like looking in that snow globe. You know, you can see, but you can't touch, and you can shake it all about.
But then that requires actual physical work.
Your brain won't know. We're going to send direct signals to it. Then it's stored outline. One step at a time, Dito. One step at a time.
But in a snow globe.
So let's jump into... Actually, Dito, how are you doing? I have not talked to you in a while. So how are you doing today, man?
Tired. Just tired. Training does that to you.
Come on. It's a beautiful day outside. The sun's out. There's no precipitation. You know, spring like is finally in effect. Like there's no more snow. I'm excited about that. The weather's changing. You know, don't have to see dark, gray, dreary clouds all the time. So yeah, that's what makes everything better on there. All right, so let's just jump into our first anime of the night.
さらに凄まじい苦労の連続となる。
And the first anime of the night is Nisekoi, and it's brought to you by Steam. Always in the most inconvenient spots. So, in last episode, we meet an assassin. We learn about the 3 principles, not to be confused with the 3 numbers, and the birth of yet another harem. Whoa!
KT's favorite.
Who doesn't love a good harem? That's why. So, I was a little worried about Nisekoi because they've spent most of their time just in the school. So it's like, what's going on? Why are they always in the school? Where's our beach episode? We're almost out of episodes.
But remember, there are the key factors to every anime that is either school life or in this case harem, is that it's either beach episode, hot springs, and or some kind of bathing suits are going to be involved. In this case, school field trip. But what's on a school field trip that every school field trip must have? KT?
You gotta have the inevitable hot spring scene and dark, deep forests. Dun dun dun. And I always wondered about this. This is something that's definitely different from U.S. schools. Is we would never have a field trip on a Saturday, but the Japanese are like, yeah, we're gonna go to hot springs over the weekend. On there, I never had any weekend getaways with schools like that.
And then again, there's never been a field trip where they would take you overnight and then do a test of courage and actually be involved in this while drinking.
Technically, the test of courage isn't sanctioned by the school. Remember, the teacher just said, we're just going to go over here and commiserate while you guys go do whatever. So, it's not officially sanctioned. You only can blame the kids.
The teachers just go in the corner and inebriate themselves. That's no big deal. That's perfectly responsible adults there in Japan, I guess.
Hey, they were drinking perfectly unlabeled bottles of alcohol, if you notice. They all had black labels on them.
Of course. We can't have product placement.
No, never.
Never. No, because if that happens, you have to license it.
We're never going to have product placement. Never.
Yeah, never.
Never. Ever, ever, ever.
Ever.
So, I've the more I watch Nisekoi, the more I realize that I don't even really care about Kurosaki, Onodera, and Braku at all. I really don't care about them. It's their friends that make the show interesting.
Shoe.
Yeah, even the glasses girl. I mean, come on, both of them are like tried and true friends trying to be the good wingman, and everybody else is just like trying to resist.
No, it's just, you can only be as a good wingman as who you're trying to wingman for not being so dense.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Curves, curves. Left and right. It's just centrifugal force.
Yes, it's, oh no, curve.
And I'm wondering, where in the world do you find a bus driver that drives like that? Because that road looked perfectly straight to me.
I know, it's like they go around turns and everything at maybe 25 miles an hour where there's no force there. So it's like, curve. and it's just like throwing them around. Happened 40 times.
Yeah.
How would you not just stand up and push against someone? I mean, that's what I would do.
I'd be looking at the bus driver. I'm like, do you even know how to drive a bus?
I just look at it going after the first couple times, sure, okay. So after that, after the 15th, 20th time, I'd be like, okay, that's enough.
Would you want to get on a bus like that? Doesn't sound safe if it's driving up mountain passes and it's driving that wildly.
I don't know if I could think about a bus initial Dean. Curve. Then yes, yeah, I could see that.
Maybe if he had a cup of water up front in the cup holder, maybe I might trust him. But if he doesn't have that, I'm not getting on that bus.
Not unless there's some tofu sitting on the seats and everything too. There's just no way.
Yeah, you just that's just how it is. And speaking of our two dense people, oh holy crap! Don't you just want to? I want to hurt these characters and just smack them upside.
So the fact that Kurosaki found out that the boy she promised to had a scar on his head from protecting her from an animal, a dog or something, wolf or whatever, finds out that Raku has the exact same scar, and she also finds a key in the book. That how can you not notice that giant ass locket
that she helped find in the first
multiple kinds? Not only did she just help him find it, threw it at him, got the chain fixed, had physical contact with at least 3 separate occasions, and that didn't occur to her until after all this. And then even
9 episodes in, and she's still denying it.
Yeah, no, it's just I just want to punch you guys in the face.
Yeah,
seriously. It's are you that dense?
Yeah, both of them are just like, I can't find my long lost lover
But
from 10 years ago. Oh, you too? Yeah, I'm trying to find my long lost lover from 10 years ago. And
what a coincidence.
yeah, and he just, happened to have a scar right where you have a scar.
I know. And then we get into like the best game of Old Maid ever.
Holy crap. That was intense. You really could take a
Like
knife
camping.
and just like cut the tension that's in that room. And do you know what I noticed too is how come they had a cafeteria on the second day, but on the first day they're like out in this like camping field?
It's because curry. That's because
Cafeteria can't make curry. You can't make curry in the cafeteria.
you got to teach the kids how to make their curry, And then Raku's all over that because he's that professional chef throwing.
All he
stuff
did
in
was
the
just
air.
throwing stuff into the fire, though.
Well, that and also they threw hot water on him. Well, Kurosaki threw hot water on him, and
I would say warm water.
Just
She was trying to get it.
amazingly enough.
She was trying to get.
Look, scar.
Yeah, she was trying to get it heated up. So I would say it would be.
Well, they had a water heater there.
Yeah, who keeps a water heater in the middle of the forest too? I've been to campgrounds. I've never seen a water heater, like just a permanent water heater placed in a campground before.
I would just out in the middle of nowhere, propane water heater for no reason
Think
whatsoever.
of the energy bills, man. It's expensive.
I said propane.
It's still not that cheap, man.
I said propane. Anyways,
Where are you going to get the propane, huh? To deliver into a remote area?
Lots and lots of camels.
Unless you want to convert to like methane and just sit there and fart into it the entire time.
That's a lot of beans.
But it's being green, I guess, right? Isn't that what everybody likes?
Being green.
All right. So they're trying. So the reason why this game is so intense is because they agreed the loser has to tell everybody about their first love.
And this is another part where it's just like, going, are you guys serious?
Yeah. It just happened to be that 3 of the people in the room have the exact same first love. Different stories, but the exact same first love. And to me, when I saw that, I'm like, I would just like fake it, obscure it, make it as like vague as humanly possible so they wouldn't know. It's not that hard to do.
They just want to make them sound so innocent, though.
Yeah.
Innocent.
And then I loved how this hot spring episode, there's so much stuff they had to stick into it. They just skipped the ending scene and used that time to add more into the hot spring things, because you just see the credits roll by on the bottom and you're like, wow. Normally this is like reserved for the last episode of the whole season, but nope, we're in episode 9 and they're doing it.
Episode 9. Let's just roll credits right here just so we can fit more hot spring.
Yeah.
More steam.
Well, it's a good thing because I didn't get hungry, because they're the ones who have the ending that has like shows you all those like sushi and bento boxes, and you're like, I want food on there. So after they have this wonderful, wonderful hot tub scene, I think all of you guys should go watch it. It ranks up there to like Tenchi Moyo hot tub scenes on there, and Tenchi has some amazing hot tub scenes.
Yeah, it depends on if you watched it in the original Japanese version or you watched the Toonami version where they put bathing suits on them.
I have
obviously edited.
I have a feeling those clouds don't exist on the Blu-ray version of this anime when it comes out, or most of them won't, because some of them looked like digitally painted over on there. So I'm just saying, if you really wanted to get rid of the steamed, just go find the Blu-ray release of it,
or wait for the OVA to come out. OVA ones, they don't edit them
because they go straight to DVD.
Uh-huh.
In your face, TV censors. We're not censored because we're on the internet too. All right. So they have that, and now of course we have this test of courage where the teachers are like, "Woo! Saturday night, let's go party! You kids, you're on your own."
Not just that too. I mean, like this just shows you just kind of how, well, I would call it irresponsible, but like how much the teachers
They
really
just
care.
trust the students more.
not just that too. It's like normally in stuff like this too, you don't pair boys and girls together to hold hands and go out into a dark forest.
Like I said,
so
they
teachers
don't know,
can scare them.
They don't know about those activities.
Because they're innocent.
Yes. Yes. They're just partying in the JPN.
Yeah. So
I was gonna quote a Miley Cyrus song, so I had to modify it.
Anyways, but then there is the lucky number 12. Why is that, Katie? Why is it lucky number 12?
Well, both wingmen decided that, hey, if I get Onodera / Raku's number, I'm going to give it to you on there. And just happens that Onodera grabbed number 12. Everybody knew, thanks to her buddy. And then Raku's just like, all right, this is my chance to have alone time. And then he does his Super Saiyan level 9 fusion mabobber
12.
with 12 with his luck and just grabs into the box, and he felt the power, and it took, I swear, the same amount of time for Saiyan to power up anyways, and he pulled out a number and it was 12. Dun dun. And he
basically he basically just wasted his entire luck for his entire life to pull this lucky 12
out. Yeah. And he, so everybody pairs up. Raku's buddy gets paired up with Kira.
She gets paired up with Kirasaki. But then in the corner of the forest where there's some light and everything,
she just hears some rustlings in the leaves, so she goes and investigates, like a good person should, just in case there's a forest fire starting or something, so you can warn other people.
Well, or in this case itself, you have a stomach-ache monster. Stomach-ache.
Yeah.
I don't think ache is a word. But we'll make it a word today.
Yeah. The poor werewolf probably ate something wrong in the cafeteria. Probably shouldn't have tried that leftover curry that they left out all night.
They probably should have left the beans alone.
On there. So they're like, oh no, we're down a monster. And they're like, we didn't have enough monsters in the first place. And, they guilted Kirasaki to do it. Except, remember, we found out she's claustrophobic and she hates the dark. So what's the most logical thing is to go help these people hide in a dark, dark, dark forest.
But
and scare people.
Don't worry. She's got a flashlight.
Ta-da!
That doesn't work. Irony, maybe?
This is the importance of making sure that you check the batteries in your flashlights before you hand them out and use them.
The more you know.
We're teaching you things every day. Now you're picking up camping skills now. Go find a campground that has a built-in water heater. Go out into the forest without checking the batteries in your flashlight. Eat curry that's been left out all night. This is
next
wonderful.
episode of Kita and Enemy Podcast, we're going to go to the forest to do a test of courage.
Yeah, we're going to rough it. Yeah,
yes.
Right.
All those who want to see this happen, just email us at kita@ktdata.net.
We're going to rough it. So right before Raku and Onodera's gonna go out on their little jaunt to have some alone time. Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
One of the other monsters comes out. It's like, have you guys seen Kirasaki? I forgot to change the batteries in her flashlight.
Amazingly enough, too, the teacher that went and kind of recruited her, that went out there, came back to notice that the flashlight is not working, to come to them to tell them that the flashlight isn't working, and like a bullet, Raku decides to take off.
So at this point, are you still Team Onodera or are you on Team Kirasaki right now? I think this is the moment where a lot of people switch to Team Kirasaki if they haven't already.
It's like Kirasaki has seems to be that childhood friend that they originally do. But my prediction right now is that that they all knew each other at one point. Like their times didn't quite overlap. Kind of like, he met Onodera first, then Kirasaki, or vice versa. You know, like they kind of overlapped each other in a small sense, but they never really met each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually both knew him at that age.
Yeah. So
and Raku's a pimp.
yeah, he is pretty much. He's too dense to notice that he's a pimp, but he's pretty much a pimp. My theory is that since we don't know anything about Onodera's family, she's going to be the daughter of another rival gang, and she's tried her best to distance herself on there. And then the rival gang's moving into town. So in Tenchi, just like in Tenchi GXP style, he's gonna have to marry both of them just to keep the peace.
Or find out that she's from a family of gangsters but didn't know it, and that's the reason why she doesn't know what's going on, and then just gets thrown into the mess there, so that it has to deal with 3 rival gangs, and it becomes this absolutely insane harem.
Yeah. Problem is
Tenchi with gangsters.
Yeah. The problem is this going to happen? No. What's going to happen is they're going to take the safe way out where he doesn't pick any of them, and they go back to school and then just end up fighting each other. You know, in the next couple episodes, the truth comes out that they're both kids of gangsters and they're not really together. But now it's to the point where everybody's liked each other. So the last episode pretty much is them fighting over him, and nothing's really happened.
Yeah, he's gonna get chased everywhere too. Like they're all gonna confess to him, and and he's never gonna give an answer. So then he runs off and everything. Then that's how it's gonna end, with all 3 of them chasing him, and then happily ever after.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stereotypical anime ending.
I'd kill for the our ending, but you know they don't give us things like that. It's sad, right?
And somewhere Klaus in there gets.
Klaus is so Klaus and Raku's family, they'll be trailing behind too, and like
that creepy perv.
Yeah, it's just gonna end up with a cloud of smoke of people running around.
Yeah,
a Ktdata prediction, right there.
Take it or leave it.
Oh, people know we're right. That's why they're not gonna say anything. So, yeah. So that's where it's happening, but it's still fun. Like, this is just straight up fun. I can't explain this anime other than that. And speaking of things I can't explain, let's go on to our next anime. And our next anime is Witchcraft Works, and it's brought to you by
The Roof. It's on fire. Last episode, Ayaka fights her mom, takes over the student council, and beats down a delinquent.
Dun, dun, dun. Who just happens to be a witch.
It just happens to be one of the same witches that... It's like, okay, so normally the tower witches fight the workshop witches, but in this case, the workshop witches is fighting a workshop witch with the help of tower witches.
I'm going to need like a diagram by the end of this, because I'm so confused on whose side now. Because like at the end of the last anime, I think a tower witch is in charge of the workshop witches right now too, and all of them like to have tea together.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
so confused.
And the only excuse they really have is that we know each other for centuries. So every time we come by, we have to have tea and cake.
Yeah, and it's like, how can you explain how Akaya's mom just like, okay, I need to go chase some things down. I know you're a tower witch, but you're gonna be in charge of the workshop witches while I'm gone.
Actually, here we go. Let's talk about this though, Katie. A new tower witch came into town. Best way we can ever describe her, her last name is Weekend. Original. That's pretty much set up the whole town as a hostage situation to this magical bomb, is the best way you can really describe it. So, but this works on 2 different ways. Now, we learned that the city is protected by the workshop, which is contract
yeah.
with the most powerful workshop witch in there, which happens to be Aika's mom, that protects all the citizens. No, not the witches, but all the citizens. So like whenever they blow up the city, Big Bear stomps on the ground, destroys buildings, etc. Summons.
She has the biggest MP bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to mention to summon a giant nurse Ayaka punches a building. Anyone who happens to be within that destruction zone is automatically taken away. And they're safe. They don't die or nothing like that too. Matter of fact,
That's how we see all these epic battles in the city, and both of us are going like, how is nobody noticing this? It's because the city self-heals itself because of this contract that they have.
yes. But the thing is too, every single time that this happens, mana from Ayaka's mom gets depleted. And so what better way to take out the most powerful witch in the city but to blow up the city? Right?
Yeah. And we can't give her any MP pots or anything to buff her up on there.
No. So, according to what Weekend was saying, after she captures her, throw her into a dungeon.
I'm interested why she didn't even try to like kill her or anything. Just throws her into a dungeon.
Yeah,
have you noticed that none of these witches are intent on killing anybody?
It makes no sense too. So these two factions are against each other, but they don't want to kill each other.
Yeah, they just want to hurt each other.
Really, really bad. Except for Weekend. She seems to be a little bit more, want to kill the workshop witches, but not the leader. So, plush bombs. What can we say?
Yeah.
Plush bombs.
They actually remind me of oh crap, what's the guy's name? The panda dude that's in Danganronpa.
Oh god, yeah.
It starts with an M, I think.
I can't remember the name.
But they remind me of him, except not mismatched colors. They're like his like distant cousins.
But with powerful explosives.
Yeah, with power. So less of brains, but with powerful explosives attached. So it's kind of a trade-off.
Yeah. So here's what would you do, KT, if you got put in a situation where they are after you, your friend / girlfriend / immortal sidekick, I don't know what to call her, is trying to get you away. Well, how would you go about getting yourself to a safe place?
I would run like the moon and go dig myself a hole somewhere.
Okay, and that's not a bad idea. Dig yourself really, really deep and everything so no one can find you too. But how would you even gather that no one can find you underground? And what if they do? How would be the most logical way that they could ever find you if you were deep underground?
Well, you know me. I talked about how spring's out in the air and everything, and how much I love seeing the sun in the sky. So I'd leave a nice little great skylight out in my giant tunnel. It's probably not the smartest thing to do, but that's what I would do, and I guess somebody could find me that way.
So how in the world do they send them down into this room that they cannot escape from too, but leave this ceiling completely open? So then this little plush can find them.
It's because they built it like Minecraft, so they had to dig from the bottom down. And since Minecraft doesn't have grates, they just left the hole open up top.
Yeah.
That's my money.
And it's just okay, so this room is really big, so they have this grate covering this too, completely skylight open too, that can, rain, the weather can get in there too, and they just leave it there.
They're witches. They can use magic to weatherproof it, I guess.
Not anymore, because since the barrier's down, that's this other part of the contract with the city, is that they can use magic when the barrier's down.
The workshop witches.
Workshop witches can't use magic.
The tower witches are like, all right, I don't care about no rules. I'm going in and blowing things up if I want. Why isn't there a Texan workshop witch? I've discovered there needs to be one.
They'll probably do that. If they ever dub it, they'll probably throw some Texan in.
Well, no, they need some stereotypical workshop witch that's from Texas or something, because they always do that in anime. So why isn't there one in this?
Throw some stereotype in there.
Yeah, it doesn't already. The show doesn't make sense anyway, so let's just throw in another stereotype in there.
All right. Well, then let's do this. So, let's put you back in the mix of this, KT.
Okay. I don't know if I like the situation.
Well, you're gonna get used to it, because now since you've been discovered and the plush that your bodyguard, will just say for right now, is a lack of better term in this situation, blows a hole with the plush in the side of the wall that opens up another cave, so to speak. So it's just magically there's a cave there. And now
You said magically.
magically delicious. Well, I had nothing to do with anything. Anyways. Now the goal is that they need to get you somewhere safe. All right. And she leads you, just keeps on leading you somewhere more underground, like deeper underground itself. Where do you think do you think this is a good idea, I should say?
I think it's a great idea because even if I was in the situation, she's made me do some crazy things before. I didn't know why she wanted me to do them, but I came out in one piece most of the time on there. I got a little bit of magical candy one time. That was cool. So I would trust her, yeah, leading me down this deep, dark, unknown cavern to places unknown.
Alrighty. Now, why do you think she's trying to lead you somewhere that's very deep underground? You know, you happen to get your second seal broke. You know, you have more, you're starting to grow in more power. What's the logical decision that you would do?
Let her use my body for all magical needs and ailments.
You devil. No, it's actually what happens is that since he has the magical abilities and everything too, and it seems like his magic still is active, that why not make a contract, not make the city a contract with Takemiya?
Yeah, he has a giant MP bar, if we're talking in like terms of log horizon.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, so why not? You know, it's like go in there because since that weekend does have a few the tower witches, tower witches, the workshop witches,
strapped to explosives,
strapped to plush bombs.
It was a nice touch to tape their mouths shut. I have to say.
Yeah, it's just like it's like oh why not? You just blindfold them, tape the mouth shut, and just strap them with plushes that's going to explode in like 17 seconds. At the moment that he makes a contract, that's the only way that you can really disarm him is by using a dispel spell.
Yeah,
which all happens within the course of 10 seconds after 0.
Yeah. Well, no, it was microseconds. Her clocks didn't have nanoseconds and microseconds on it. That's why you can see it. It was there. It was
the Dragon Ball Z syndrome, where time just stops so they can explain everything.
Yeah. So my bet is I think this is a safe prediction. I think that the act of making this new contract with the city just broke another seal, and there's only 6 of them, right?
5. So he has 2 left.
So he only has 2. I have a feeling this one we're gonna find out in the next episode that he broke another seal doing so. And and so far we haven't found out why this white witch is so dangerous. I mean, she seemed like a cool person when we met her the first time around.
Well, she did call herself a devil, so I'm not sure if she's actually being serious or not about that. But
maybe that's it's a pet name. Oh, you devil, you.
That'd be a weird pet name to call yourself.
Why not?
Yeah, but we'll see more in the next episode because it's getting a bit more interesting now. We don't know what's going on.
I still have no idea what's happening on, but there's some semblance of story moving on. So speaking,
it's moving along and carrying us with us without having to ask too many questions. We don't know. We're just enjoying the scenery.
It's making us asking a lot of questions, but it's just like I don't care. I'm not going to answer them. Let's just keep doing this. But
we're enjoying the ride.
Yeah. But speaking of stories that are kind of coming to a halt, let's go into Log Horizon. And our final anime of the night is Log Horizon, and it's brought to you by Cakes. 3 people, 12 cakes, enter an arena. Who will win? Dun dun dun.
Thunderdome, Thunderdome, Thunderdome. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Be there.
All right, so last episode, Rudy finally becomes an adventurer. Shiroe learns a new spell, and every kicks some goblin, and everyone kicks some goblin ass. So I thought we were gonna have another battle, to be honest with you on this, but we didn't.
Instead, we get that little mellow spot.
Yeah. So they jump a month ahead, and the army has pretty much essentially cornered the goblins into this little area right there, and they're regularly sending people out to kind of maintain and groom it. They haven't killed the Goblin King yet because they know that if they do that, all anarchy is going to go out. And in normal Shiroway fashion, he's using this situation as a political leverage with the people of the land. So to kind of work out, they've signed a non-aggressive pact with each other. I think they're working on trade agreements now. So they're having a party, to celebrate this newfound friendship and the adventurers, helping out and everything. So, there's dancing and whatnot, and there's a lot of parties. The people of the land, they know how to party. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I think that the show, when they're not fighting, they're partying.
Yeah.
That's just like, we just see this like fight, party,
Yeah.
fight, party, fight, party.
It's
Someone dies in their self. He brings it back to life. Party, fight, party, fight.
I like it. It's because they have such a catchy theme song, database.
Yeah, but here's the thing too. But because that the event the princess Lanestia actually rounded up the troops and everything to fight off the goblins. That because it was her own initiative to do it too. The kingdom, her father's, does not actually have any right or any real reason to compensate them or give him his thanks and everything outside of what he's already done. So that means that she is now responsible for reimbursing all the adventurers. But in this case, set up an embassy in Akiba with her as the ambassador.
Woohoo!
Which includes 3 meals and a nap.
Yeah, now she can live the easy life. She can sleep in whatever pajamas she wants because they won't judge her because they don't really care. She can eat whenever she wants. She can shower whenever she wants. I really hope she showers at least once a day. It's just personal preference right there. But yeah, I prefer hanging out with people who shower at least once a day.
I just realized, have they even showered at all in this show?
They probably do.
The only time they actually had water touch them, aside from the beach episode, and that was just the kids.
I'm just assuming they still hold some proper grooming techniques. It's just are you that desperate to see Marie or Henrietta without any clothes on?
Well, we already seen parts of that during one of the beach episodes, but that's not the point. I'm just wondering, do they actually
don't show you
groom or shower?
They don't show you them going to the bathroom. Most TV shows don't do that. You just assume they do. It could just be a command that they run on their consoles, like clean up.
Clean up. It just. I'm not even gonna image it back. Anyways,
think about how much easier that life would be. You just like, oh, I need a shave. / shave. Whoop, done. I need a haircut. / haircut. Whoop, done.
Only if this isn't like sort of online where they it's like clothes and everything magically appear on themselves. They actually have a wardrobe. They actually have to get clothes. They have to dress themselves. They actually have to they're living in a new world. It's not just they're in a video game. It's like the two melted together, and everything that we know in real life happens. And the only difference is that their weapons appear out of the magical bags. But there's like a hybrid of this.
Yeah. And then we find, speaking of magic, Shiro did some crazy non-game rule type things in our last episode. You can go check back on that if you want to find out what. But we find out somebody else might have done the same. Dun.
Dun. Yes. Our little Hikamori wizard down in the basement of the castle.
We don't even know who that is. It was just a random lady that. Oh, and if you guys raise kids, probably not the safest thing to tell them to all gather around this stranger and have them tell them a story. Not the greatest parenting advice. I'm just saying.
Oh, come on. They were out of the way, completely secluded from everybody itself. They don't know what's going on. They're having a great time. What can go wrong?
Yeah, what and she's telling this story, and it's pretty much the story of Shiroe, and she adds all these extra things, and you're like, who is that? And my bet, we're not even going to find out who she is until the last episode of this season or until season 2 in the fall.
Yes, because I had to drop the ball last time and say that we know now there's a season 2 coming out in the fall. But, we already finished the celebration of the jointing of the Akiba and the kingdom. So now that's autumn.
And then Shiroi finds out another thing, because remember the Goblin King, he was in the east out there. And that was kind of their world level event. And of course, in a game, you're not going to have just one world level event, right? So in the west, they have something that is called the Demon Festival of Suzaku Gate, which is similar to the Goblin King in the west. And everybody knows that it's occurred, but the people of the land and everybody else in the west have not really said anything. Ooh.
There's also seems to be like
more hints for season 2. Like,
but this seems like there's a conspiracy going on over there too, because they like Shiroi knows about what's like semi going on over there too, but doesn't really know. It's just like, he has bits of information because after the alliance and the jointing of the two nations, that they tried going to all the places to try to bring the adventurers in, try to take them and help them out. No, this too, some of them have refused, and they just kind of haven't gone over to the west side of what basically Japan is to find out anything yet. But he has a strong premonition that someone over there is going to be maybe a threat. Because it seems like there's not an alliance, but like
because the town of Miname, it's not like Akiba where it's jointly ruled by all these guilds. There's one guild that pretty much rules the whole place out there.
Yeah, we call them the Ring.
Yeah, so
one to rule them all. Anyways,
I must go on a journey
where we all can accomplish beforehand if you just threw it in when you're already there.
Let's walk, shall we?
and walk. Let's spend 3 movies and walk.
Yeah, actually, and add another 4 of the story before they walk, which includes a lot of walking.
Yes, about the same thing.
On there, so that I think this is all set up for season 2. None of this is going to be explained, or we're going to only get a tidbit on that last episode, because I think it's 25 episodes, 26 episodes. There.
You never know. I mean, we could see this. We could see it actually. I'll just get shoved into the last episode.
Oh, that would be horrible, dude. Horrible.
But anyways, after all this too, what's the best thing to do when you celebrate autumn?
Well, it's Marie, and you know what Marie loves doing? She loves to party. So she convinces everybody to hold a festival in Akiba, and this is like their first official festival, so they've had mini parties on there, and then she calls it the Festival of Scales. But I think after watching the episode, she should have just called it the Festival of All You Can Eat Cake. I'd so be there.
And this is where we see a little bit of a different pace. I mean, like Log Horizon up to this point has been action, adventure, strategy. It just shows like a lot of dynamics of this too. But they have very rarely ever touched up on like personal lives of each character.
Yeah, most of it's there's personal stories have been discussed if it helps move the story along on there. This is the first time they've kind of gone into this realm where everybody's kind of feet are on the table, relax a little bit. There's no impending danger on them immediately, so it's a little bit more.
It depends on what you mean about that, because when I'm sitting there trying to relax and everything, and I have my bodyguard and then my apprentice come to me and basically say that a couples can go and can eat a cake together for free if they finish it all.
I just heard free cake. That's all. Whatever else you just said, I didn't hear. I just heard free cake. That's all I need to hear.
But then you get the brilliant idea to take both of them so that you don't have to favor either one. And
they both invited me. I don't want to be a jerk.
Exactly. But then instead, since it was supposed to be a couple, which means a pair, now you have, a triangle.
It's a threesome.
I don't want to use that because it sounds very dirty.
Get your mind out of the gutter, man. It's a threesome.
And so they have to kind of bend the rules a bit for them. And this leads you to a couple different things. I mean, you could either say, awesome, I get to hang out both of them, or you're going to get a lot of ridicule around the area because
really
you brought two girls.
No, it doesn't matter. There's free cake. I am there. Those everything else is a minor detail to me. Free cake.
Well, yeah, apparently, like the contest itself, if you eat 6 pieces of cake, you get free. In this case, because there was another one, so if they had to go 12
okay,
pieces
4 pieces of cake each. That seems reasonable.
Yeah, but then they decide to be a little bit generous on that and give you 12 whole cakes.
Yeah, they did the McDonald's upsize on you. Free upsize.
Which also, amazingly enough, too, that Shira comes out of that like he ate at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like stereotypical ate at McDonald's.
I almost made this joke. Hey, that's what he looks like in real life when he wasn't playing the game.
Oh, he needed that mirror of truth from Sword Art Online.
Yeah. and I love this because both Mirami, she realizes it's a date, so she's all getting dressed up and has Izuru help her out. But Akatsuki, I never can say her name right. She's like, oh crap, I need +5 fashion. And who does she go ask?
Of all the people, the traders.
Yeah, she goes ask the merchants, and then I love this. Henrietta's radar goes off. She needs my help. I'm coming, and then she's dragging Marie behind her, and this is where I get. I'm like, this is why Marie and Henrietta are friends. They both spaz out for specific things on there, and then the other person always tags along and tries to help them out,
or tries to keep them away,
or
controlling them. Sorry, they help some control this. Each one is like damage control for the other person.
Yeah. And so now we have this little love triangle thingy going on with that. And I have a feeling that for the rest of these episodes, for the next 4 or at least 2 or 3 episodes, is going to be more of these like everyday, almost slice of life kind of things where it's more about the relationships between the characters and whatnot. I bet you we're going to get one with Rusty and Izuru. And it's going to be just like Izuru taking her puppy out on the town for the one day.
Rudy?
Yeah, Rudy. Why did I say
Rusty? Well, he's a dog. Who cares? He responds to anything.
So, like, I have a feeling we're going to see that for the rest of it, since they know there's going to be a season 2. And I kind of don't mind. It helps us get to know these characters a little bit more.
Yeah, I kind of consider this like catch up, because I think it's good right now because like the immediate threat's done. Why not? It's like I think they actually pace this just right.
Yeah, because it makes sense. This is the first time in the world of Log Horizon, as they know it, since the apocalypse, where everything seems to be normalized. There's no goblins. They're not trying to figure out why they're in this world anymore. They've kind of had everything set now. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they've embraced it.
Yeah. And I love how Akiba still has a little bit of Akiba in it, where you see some of these costumes. You see a gray Danbo on there. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I thought that was the only one I was going to see. And then I see Gundam and a Char, and I'm just going like, how in the world did you how did you make the game? Even if you're crafting it, how in the world could you put that together in the world they're at?
Well, not just that too. They made the Lanitia PVC figures.
Yeah, they're wood.
Yeah, it's like going. Okay, they have the ability to like do whatever they want, so to speak, with the exact skills. Because there's a hybrid between the two of game and real life. But come on,
yeah.
It's like if you do something wrong, that's either going to disappear or burst into flames.
It is awesome, and I am excited for season 2. It's not dragging on. The pace, the story, everything put together just seems packaged really well. And I'm glad there's going to be another season.
And if you guys don't really understand what we're talking about, just rewind your brain back to the first episode, and just kind of like pace yourself through it. And just think about all the events. If you have to go back and watch our podcast on this too, and just pace our events and everything too, and everything just
It
flows.
fits. Yeah, it works. It's organic. It doesn't feel forced, and I liked it. So I'm all for it. What I
Yeah,
don't like, though, Dito, is that we're at the end of our episode. I'm really sad about this. You know,
You're actually mad about that?
I'm sad.
Oh, you're sad about that. You know, I'm happy. I don't have to go. I don't have to see your ugly mug for 2 weeks.
Do you really just count? You're staring at the clock. I'm like, okay, we're almost done. All right. Come on, 5 more minutes. I'm done.
What do you think? I'm blowing up the clock right there on my screen. It's like a giant clock right behind my camera. It's just there, and I'm like watching the time go by.
Just praying.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a clock up there. Just it's gonna be like Witchcraft Works clock, and wait until it gets there and just blow
and it
up.
just blows up. All right. So, but if you guys have any comments, don't agree with us, have some more to say about what we said, please send us an email, kita@ktdata.net. We read all the emails. We may not respond to all of them, but we read all of them, and it might be read on the show. Okay, I try to respond to most of them, so you have a high chance of hearing it back. If email is not the thing, please go like our Facebook page. Like it. The button looks like this. Facebook.com/ktdatanet. You'll see all the postings and the musings and the groovings. I'm catching up on all our videos, so our Comic-Con stuff's going up just in time for FanX on there, and we'll be at FanX. That will be another thing. Dito and I will be at FanX
Next week, right?
Yes, it is next week. So in less than 7 days, we'll be down there. Dito and I hitting the show floor again, seeing what we can. I'm gonna try my best to get some celebrity interviews on there. There's one that I really, really want to get. If you guys know the story behind the username of Ktdata, you'll understand. If following Facebook is not the thing, please follow us on the tweeters. You can find me at @Ktdata, and you can find Dito at Ahoy Baby. We tweet out all the fun things too out there. You'll know when the show goes live. If that's not a thing and you're listening to the podcast, I know there's a lot of you audio listeners out there. Please, if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. Or if you're on YouTube, the button looks like this red magical thing right here. So please hit that on there.
It's red. It's magical. Yeah. And it's subscribe.
Yeah, you should on there. And if you guys want to watch us live, because we love when you guys watch live, our next episode will be April 21st, 2014, and you can find us at ktdata.net/live, and we'll be on there. Dito, do you have anything else to plug?
Just next Tuesday, April 15th, is the 25th anniversary to Ranma 1/2 appearing on anime. It's the first episode.
I can't believe I'm a year older than it. I'm surprised.
So all you fans of Ranma 1/2 that really know about it too, you can join us. I'm going to try to throw up a celebration of that too on the Facebook page. Just a glory to a show that was one of my favorites growing up.
And it's helped shape and mold things. If you guys don't realize it, but it has. All right, Dito, thank you so much for being on the show. I always appreciate it. I love it, and I wish we had more time to do more of this. Thank you guys for watching, listening, however you consume the show, and we will see you all
with a spoon
in 2 weeks. Bye-bye. Bazinga!